Hello, my scrappy peeps. Today we're going to be talking about the trio road trip embellishments, the road mini trio. Okay, so first what we're going to do is we're going to create seven one by one of the gold or yellow for the signs, okay? And you're going to need seven of them. Right? Then you're going to need seven 1 and 1/16 black square, right? So you need seven of them. Then you're going to need little arrows. You're going to need 4 sets of these little arrows. So to do that, again, all this is a wonderful way to use up your scraps. Okay? So now, why I'm talking about these little arrows, and this is the back of what the um, foam squares come on. You find it. Here's the foam square pack. This is the back of this. So it helps that it doesn't stick on anything. So that's what I use that for. And remember, these little arrows can be turned pointing left or right. Okay. So just flip it over to turn to the other direction. Okay, so once you have them pointed in the right direction, and I'm just going to leave these here, and I will do the finished product. So they look pretty good. All right. Oh, so we have an extra, but you can use these, like let's say you have a picture that you want to point to, you can use this little arrow punch for that also. All right. So don't throw anything out. You can use them. And these arrows again flip over so you can go left to right. All right, so that's that punch. So I want to close this. I just click it. All right. My next punch that we're going to talk about is this punch. The road sign. So you're going to need one white, so punch this out on the white, and then you're going to need a 1 by 1 black square. So I'm going to put this here and put that right there as such. Yeah, okay. And then I use the black Sans Ser S Seri, I can't say that name. And I'm just going to use the famous 66, Road 66. And to do this, you could use your repositional, put the sticker on here. That way you could see your spacing. Okay. So if you don't have an all-purpose tool, this little thing can be used so many different ways, as you can see. Whoop, whoop. Okay, so there's my 66, Road 66. Come on, maybe I should bring that over. And you see, if it doesn't quite fit, you just scoop this little thing, scooper, and just move it over. It unsticks it very, very nice. And this is also good for papers that you have glued down already and you want to, oops, move them over. This helps get them up without tearing your paper. Okay, so there's our 66. And then we want to talk about the street sign. So here's our yield street sign. You want 2 whites and 1 red. Okay, so 2 whites and 1 red. And I had to get a yield sign printed out because I didn't remember what a yield. Truthfully, I go so fast through the signs, I don't see them. All right, now what you want to do is just trim ever so slightly. 1/16 of an inch of all sides. And I had, this is shimmer red, but that was what scrap I had, so it's all good. And I'm also going to round the edges. Thank goodness for repo. Did I get that right? Yep. Okay. And then I need to do my yield sign. So I take my little red point, the fine point end, not the bulgy, and I'm going to type right yield. Y-I-E-L-D. And then I'm going to trim this down a little bit aggressively. Mm, okay. Alrighty, I'm gonna trim a little bit more. Mm. And you don't want to do this if you don't have your patient pills on, because this can get to me. And that's not the best, but you're going to get what, well, I know that's not the best, but you know what I'm trying to do. I probably won't use this on my layout because it's so bad. But if you're better than me, which you can be, there's your yield sign. You get the idea. So a white, a red, and a white with the yield sign. And there you have it. And I have some car guys, so I will be using this in my layout. Now, what I did for my background is I did a 2-inch in the green, okay? And then I did a 1 3/4 on the blacktop paper, and I'm going to trim off 1/4 inch. And 1/4 inch is the black edge on our cutter, because I want that green to show all the way around, okay? And then I'm going to put this here. Okay, and see, I like the green to show all the way around. And what I'm going to do next is throw this out because I'm not happy with that, so sorry about that. But I'm going to put my signs down as such, and I'll post the finished product. You want to do this a little bit before, all right? Or you can use your mat for placement, okay? So there you have it. So I'll probably do a 1 inch, a 6 inch, and then spread these out. All right, I'll post the finished product, but they are ways to use your trio. Hope you like your Tippy. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.